Uh-oh, y'all. It looks like tomorrow the race could be starting in Chicago, y'all.
Thousands of protesters marched through the streets of downtown Chicago on Saturday to sound off about President Trump's planned immigration crackdown in the city. Judy Wang joins us live from the newsroom with the story. Good morning, Judy.
Good morning. Protesters, Governor Pritzker, the mayor, they are slamming President Trump's threat of war on Chicago. In a social media post showing the city skyline with military choppers hovering overhead, the president depicts himself as a character from the 1979 Vietnam War movie Apocalypse Now.
Say it loud and say it clear.
Say it loud and say it clear.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Immigrants are welcome here.
Saturday evening's No Trump, No Troops rally and march took place in the Loop. Organizations, including the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights, led the protests. It began at Ida B. Wells and Michigan Avenue. Demonstrators marched, stopping briefly at the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Office, the Dirksen Federal Building, and Trump Tower. Again, threatening to send military troops to the city, the president posted an image of himself wearing army fatigues with the title "Apocalypse Now." He wrote, "I love the smell of deportations in the morning. Chicago is about to find out why it's called the Department of War." Trump recently signed an executive order to rename the Department of Defense. Governor Pritzker says the president is threatening to go to war with an American city. This is not a joke. This is not normal. Mayor Brandon Johnson calls the threats beneath the honor of our nation, but the reality is he wants to occupy our city and break our Constitution.
These people.
We cannot accept the divide and conquer rhetoric that calls our neighbors criminals, that calls our siblings illegal, that calls our cousins terrorists. Who is doing the most illegal stuff in this country? And we are here united, fighting back against that.
About 300 federal agents are expected to operate out of the Great Lakes Naval Base in North Chicago for the administration's expanded immigration crackdown. A judge recently ruled Trump's use of the military in L.A. was illegal. Washington, D.C. also filed suit over the Guard's deployment in that city. As recently as Wednesday, Vice President J.D. Vance said there were no immediate plans to send Guardsmen to Chicago. Back to you.
Saturday, streets of Chicago filled with protest chants, sign-ups. Well, signs ups. I don't know why I said sign ups. Fists raised, voices demanding no crackdown. They wanted the feds out, but less than 48 hours later, that reality hit. All right. And the receipts, they came quick.
The American citizens, you're damn right.
So maybe it should say criminal aliens in Chicago are about to find out why it's called the Department of War, not Chicago itself. But let me ask you, we keep hearing the president's going to send National Guard troops into Chicago. It has not yet happened. Help clear this up for me. Is the president talking about sending National Guard troops and other federal troops into Chicago to handle deportations or to handle violent criminals, or both, like you just referred to, violent criminals who are in this country illegally? What is the operation going to look like? Will it happen this week?
Look, National Guard are always on the table. We use them in Los Angeles, and we use them in Washington, D.C. They're a force multiplier. Now, do they arrest illegal aliens? No. They're ICE officers, Border Patrol agents who have Title VIII authority arrest illegal criminal aliens. But the National Guard does provide protection for us. It does provide us infrastructure, provides us transportation, provides us additional processing capability that allows the ones who immigration authority, the badge and guns on the street, to continue arresting the bad guy. So yeah, they're a force multiplier and they're on the table. I mean, they've been used by every administration since I've been working for the government. Starting in 1984, every administration's used the Guard and the military on the border, and they've been very beneficial. Look at the crime change in Washington, D.C. Look what they're able to do in Los Angeles. I was in Los Angeles when that all started. We were serving criminal warrants on money fraud, tax evasion, money laundering, and cartel funding. We're serving criminal search warrants, and all hell broke loose because the left said we're doing immigration raids and just arresting people that look different from us. And for 2 days, ICE agents were under extreme threat, were being attacked. The facilities were being attacked. Thank God President Trump called the National Guard in to bring peace. So National Guard is beneficial.
So should we expect action in Chicago this week?
Absolutely. You can expect action in most sanctuary cities across the country. President Trump's prioritized sanctuary cities because sanctuary cities knowingly release illegal alien public safety threats to the streets every day. That's where the problem is. We don't have that problem in Florida where every sheriff and chief works for us, right? Or Texas. So we got to send additional resources to the problem areas, which are sanctuary cities.
Governor Pritzker says Illinois has not received any notification about any enforcement action from the White House.
Tom Homan, the ICE director, man, out here doing what he does, confirming exactly what was set in motion. A surge. Not whispers, not rumors. No. Absolute. Chicago was officially on the list anyway. But the headlines tried to sell it like water. Come on now, you can't mess up my cue. I said my transition statement on point. Come on. Why you want to do this? Just wow, y'all see this? This clip won't let me be great. Give me a second. Let me go find another one. Hold on. All right, y'all. I think we good. Are you kidding me? I just had it playing. First of all, let me apologize because I just yelled in all y'all ears. I'm usually at this tone, but I was just like, whoa, I had the video playing. I'm gonna just play it because y'all been waiting long enough.
That's fake news. When you say that, darling, that's fake news.
Well, why leave the Department of Defense?
Listen, be quiet. Listen. You don't listen. You never listen. That's why you're second rate. We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities. We're going to clean them up so they don't kill 5 people every weekend. That's not war. That's common sense.
Oh my gosh. Trump rejected the whole war narrative, put her in her place in the most savage way. Called it a cleanup. And whether you like him or hate him, you can't ignore how quick that flip landed. The media wanted chaos. He framed it as order. Hey, he looked her dead in the eye, too. Hey, look. Listen. Let me tell you the truth. Is that war? I love the energy. And if you think it's all politics, I want you to check the streets real quick.
Kathleen Miles says her life will never be the same after being nearly killed downtown.
It's not okay, and I'm going to stand up and speak to make sure that this doesn't happen or something worse to someone else.
The 56-year-old is still recovering from the physical and emotional trauma of what happened on August 19th.
My temporal bone has been broken, which is the one kind of near the ear canal, and my orbital bone was also fractured. My nose was displaced.
The mother of 11 was walking to Union Station with a colleague that early evening just before 5:30. She says both had just gotten off work and was heading home when a man came out of nowhere near Block 37.
Kind of blasted between the two of us and separated us, pushed us apart, and then stood in front of me and hit me in the face.
Police ended up arresting 32-year-old William Livingston for 3 counts of aggravated battery. Online police records show he's been arrested more than a dozen times since 2014. His alleged crimes include assault, battery, and robbery. Police say many of his victims were women. In 2022, NBC5 interviewed 2 women who say Livingston attacked them along with 2 others in a time span of 20 minutes. NBC5 learned Livingston was sentenced to 5 years in prison, but the Illinois Department of Corrections says he was released the following year for jail and pretrial sentence credit.
What has to happen? Does someone have to die for them to actually say, okay, we're gonna hold him, we're gonna make him accountable?
Since her attack, Miles says she's heard from other crime victims worried about their safety downtown.
Reality is there's a problem, and we can't conquer problems if we don't work together to conquer them. And Chicago has a problem.
V1 NBC5 News.
A mother randomly attacked by a repeat offender. Same cycle over and over again. The so-called reforms. This is the result. She's the one left picking up the pieces. And it wasn't just her. Listen to this warning.
So I was punched this morning walking in the loop to my office. Never thought I would be one to make a video like this. Chicago commuters that work in the loop, please be so incredibly careful when you're standing in a crosswalk, because that's how I got punched in the face. So this morning on Welch Street at like 8:15 with tons of other commuters nearby, some random man who was walking perpendicular from me came behind me, walking this way, came around my right shoulder and actually like swung up and over my shoulder into my jaw, kind of pushing downwards. When he punched me, my glasses fell off, and I have extremely low vision. For those of you that do have low vision, you get how vulnerable you feel without your glasses, and especially right after getting punched. He was wearing all black with this gray raincoat, and he had his hood on, and he took his hood off, and he looked at me, and I saw that man's bald head. Didn't want to take my phone, didn't want to take my work computer, didn't want to take my bag, my wallet, nothing. He just wanted to hit me, so. But the reason why I'm making this video is after talking to police, it really does seem like this is becoming a repeat offense. Maybe not the same guy, but there's definitely an uptick in these simple battery cases. They're getting a lot of reports of people who are just getting hit. At least what I heard from them, it sounded like they're all women or majority women. When you're walking, when you're in motion, like nobody's gonna come up and hit you. But when you're standing there at the crosswalk, I should have been looking around like that. And I was looking ahead at the intersection, but I didn't know that this guy came up behind me. It could have obviously been a lot worse, but like it does really hurt. And I was shaking for like 2.5 hours.
She's not exaggerating. People are being attacked just walking to work, waiting at crosswalks. Chicago moms doing PSAs because politicians won't do their job. And with that reality, the crowd started singing a different tune, yo.
The National Guard! We want the National Guard! We want the National Guard!
I'm going to let it play one more time. Hold on, let's rewind it.
The National Guard! We want the National Guard! We want the National Guard!
Come on now. We want the National Guard. The same city that Saturday said no troops. By Sunday night, people were begging for them, all right? That's not a spin, that's desperation. But of course, Chicago still has its loud mouths.
Man, Trump talking about something. Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War. Nigga, you about to find out why it's called Direct. The fuck? Goofy ass nigga? We ain't scared of this shit. Man, Trump talking about something. Chicago about to...
I ain't gonna lie, he sounds just like all of my family. All of my family from Chicago, you know. Yeah, boy. I still say boy. I say tweaking. Anywho, I just hear a lot of his, but anywho, forget that. I'm hearing, you know, what is this? You know, you got some tough vibrato here. You got some threats, the usual flex. Meanwhile, mothers are being stumped out in alleys. This is why nobody outside Chicago takes people like who respond like this seriously. And then the river told its own story.
A decades-long cold case leads to the discovery of nearly 100 cars in the Chicago River.
Winnie Dortch is live along the river with the details. Winnie, 100 cars they found? It's unbelievable.
Good morning. That's exactly right. A local wife and husband have been missing for more than 50 years. A team of divers is searching the Chicago River in hopes to find that wife and husband. But instead, again, they came across 100 abandoned cars in the water. Now, this search team is called Chaos Divers. It specializes in finding missing people and objects. They often collaborate with law enforcement to help bring closure to families. Edward and Stephania Andrews went missing on May 15, 1970. The two were driving a yellow 1969 Oldsmobile. According to a Chicago Tribune article, the couple left a cocktail party at the Sheridan Hotel in downtown Chicago. The following Monday, the two were reported missing. The dive team was helpful in the case of Karen Sheepers in Elgin. She disappeared in 1983. She too went missing after a co-workers event in Carpentersville. Her remains and vehicle were found in the Fox River earlier this year. Now, the team is currently working on 10 cold cases here in our area. They will pick up that search at 10 this morning, looking for the couple in that car. As far as all of those cars that were discovered in the Chicago River, we have not heard back from police. I'm live here along the Chicago River near Diversey. Winnie Dortch, WGN News.
Wow, man. Nearly 100 abandoned cars fished out of the Chicago River. A literal graveyard of neglect. I mean, how did the city ignore that? How many crimes just sitting underwater? It's really disturbing, man. Life is short, y'all. Life is short. And don't forget, it's not just Chicago, actually. Oh, well, no, this video is supposed to be for another video. I don't even know why I included it in here. This is her talking about an ice race. I mean, he had a race, so my fault. I didn't play it, so we're just going to go back to this screen right here. But I'll say this, Saturday, they protested. Monday, the warrants dropped. Receipts don't lie. Oh, well, Sunday, rather. Because tomorrow's Monday, today is Sunday. Just talking too fast, right? Families want order, though, not spend. And the questions you got to answer is this the cleanup? Is this the cleanup Chicago begged for, or is it just the beginning? If you made it to the end of the video, I want to put something funny. I want to put some, put pickle frog. I don't know where that came from. That was just the first two. Pickled frog, if you made it to the end of the video. Y'all be safe. Please go check out a friend today. You can quite literally be safe.
Hold up. If you get